hospital for his employees and their families, and he offered health care for only 50 cents a month. Now we're coming up to the Whetstones Chocolate Factory. The Whetstones started making chocolate in 1967, right from their kitchens at home. They have expanded through the years. They have about 5 retail stores here in St. Augustine and the large factory over on our left, where they do offer tours of it during the day. The next one should be in about 45 minutes. Let me tell you, when you go on that, they give you lots of samples of chocolate. It is a great tour, one of my favorites. But this is our stop for Whetstones. No chocoholics on board today, huh? Usually I always have one. Alright. But we'll keep going now. We're going to head back into town. Our next stop, but I want to point out the next red light is named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. We dedicated that in honor of the peace activist. But unlike most of your monuments or roads that are dedicated after people, he actually did walk on this one in the 1960s. He led a peace rally from Lincolnville all the way down to the plaza area. He would end up spending about 10 days here in St. Augustine with Jackie Roberson. They gave some speeches at the church. He was instrumental in bringing civil rights to St. Augustine. If you get a chance to go down and drive around Lincolnville, they do have some of the only Victorian homes you will see here in St. Augustine. They also have the Freedom Trail. You can go trace the growth of Lincolnville. Museum. The Villa Rosarena was opened in 1887. It was built by Franklin Smith, an architect from New York. Came down. This was one of the very first poured concrete building here in St. Augustine. We believe he actually taught it to Henery Flagler. But over on our right-hand side, the Villa Rosarena. Now you will notice the unique design of the building as we come around. It is an actual replica of the Alhambra Palace in Granada, Spain. With his winter cottage. Today, though, it does serve as a museum with some beautiful antiques on display. Your own pace as you travel around. But our Villa Rosarena. acres, huh? Alright, well, we'll keep on going then. Our next stop is going to be the Leitner Museum, originally known as the Alcazar Hotel. Another one of those beautiful hotels Leitner Flagler built, and this is the one that he obtained the property from the church for. But it opened in 1889, less than 1 year after he opened the beautiful Ponce. Now, it offered nightly rates that were just a little bit cheaper than the Ponce. But the main attraction for this hotel was its entertainment. It was built to entertain the guests here at the Ponce de Leon. It included salons, Turkish baths, Russian steam rooms, we had a bowling alley, a movie theater, and a beautiful casino. And it also had the very first indoor swimming pool. But in 1950, the building was bought by O.C. Leitner. Now, he went around the world collecting other people's collections. Those collections are currently here on display at the museum. Now, the Victorian Music Room, they do open it up in the afternoon and play from the beautiful music boxes they have on display. We're going to pull up here and make a stop. Notice our statue of Don Pedro Mendez de Avilés, our city founder, given to us by Avilés, Spain, our sister city. The Leitner Museum. Now, also, while you're traveling around St. Augustine today, you might want to try getting off of the main roads a little and enjoy some wonderful restaurants or little cafes that we do have here on our side streets. Most people, when they head to St. Augustine, they always go to St. George Street, but they miss these little restaurants. And sometimes that is where you're going to find the best dining in St. Augustine. Now, notice the building on our beside building of the Alcazar. Up ahead, this rounded building sticking out. Well, that was the swimming pool. It was huge for its time. It took up the whole back end of the hotel. It went from 3 to 9 feet deep, and it was spring-fed, so it stayed a constant 72 degrees. Now, today it has been drained, and at the back door, you can go through, visit the Cafe Alcazar or the Antique Mall. Now, in those days, we didn't have a lot of use for cars. So these parking lots all back here, well, they served the grounds of the hotel. Over on our left, that was the tennis court, and on our right was that academy for the brand new bicycle. Yep, you had to go get certified, learn how to ride it before you were allowed to on our city street. But that was because it was brand new. It was just being introduced to the United States. Now, as we round the corner here, we're going to be making our next stop at the Dow Museum, a collection of 9 colonial homes, and they are the original houses, all on their original foundations. Now, the most famous one, well, that's in the back, the Prince Murat House. He was the great-grandnephew of Napoleon Bonaparte, and he was married to the grandniece of George Washington. So you can just imagine that their political views and political parties were quite interesting. But this is our stop for the Dow. Bye, enjoy. you guys enjoy. But we're going to keep on going and make our next stop in our plaza area. A little busy down here today. All these cars want to get our attention. I noticed the other end of the swimming pool we're passing now. Up above the beautiful ballroom where you could open that ceiling and dance under the stars or enjoy the cool breeze. Now another interesting thing about this pool, the men, they were always hung up in the shallow end smoking cigars, and the other end, the deep end, had a wall where the women would be behind swimming. In those days, the men and the women couldn't swim together. They actually had to be separated. Now we're coming up to the beautiful Casa Monica Inn. St Augustine's only remaining 5-star hotel. Although it was built by Franklin Smith in 1887, although he never got to open it. Before the grand opening, he sold it to Henery Flagler for pennies on the dollar. Well, Flagler then renamed it the Cordova, and now Flagler had 3 beautiful hotels, all within the same city radius. We can't say the same city block because the Casa Monica takes up the whole block of the whole block over here. I think the Ponce does too. They all